Hi everyone, this is Chris of Untitled, and today we're going to do a video comparison between the web browsers on the Apple iPhone and Windows 10 Mobile. Okay, we'll start our video comparison by taking a look at the device. This is the Apple iPhone 6s. It's running on iOS 10.2.1, while this is the Lumia 830, and it is running an insider preview build of Windows 10 Mobile 15014. There is apparently no version of Safari, while I believe it is Edge build 15 on Windows 10 Mobile. Okay, on the surface of things, there's no obvious difference between the two mobile browsers. Both render pages very similarly. You'll see that the address bar across the top here on iOS, while Windows 10 Mobile puts it at the bottom. Tapping the address bar, actually, as you can see on Windows 10 Mobile, will bring you up a list of some of your recently visited websites. iOS does very much the same thing, but in a slightly more visually pleasing way. And both will suggest websites as you go along. This isn't so much about the speed of loading, although iOS does seem to do things faster. If you want to go back to the previous website you were on, you can slide back on Windows 10 Mobile and back and forth. It's the same deal on iOS, but not quite so obvious. You actually have to do it right from the edge, as you can see. As with all mobile browsers these days, you can open multiple tabs. Again, done in a very similar way. You can see this bottom bar. You have a almost identical button as found there. Now again, very similar idea. The layout, although probably visually more pleasing on iOS, I actually find going between your tabs maybe works a bit better on Edge, because you can actually see more of the websites that you have been viewing. To start a new one, it's the plus button, and the same deal here on iOS. You can also open private tabs on both devices, as we'll see. Again, if you want to switch between private browsing and regular, I think iOS makes things a bit more obvious what you're doing, and it does actually section off your private tabs from your regular tabs. Whereas here on Edge, it just opens another one right next to it. See, but for that little blue square, you wouldn't necessarily know it was a private tab. Whereas here on iOS, it's a bit more obvious that you're switching to private browsing. Closing tabs is done slightly different. On Edge, you have these X's that you use to shut down, while here on iOS, it's maybe a little more tedious because you have to swipe to the side, and it's not difficult to maybe miss a swipe sometimes and find that it's not going. Nothing happens if you swipe towards the right. It always has to be done to the left. Also bringing up a new tab, as you can see here on Edge, you just get a blank white screen, while here you get a selection of your maybe favorite websites that you visit. We will go to a web page, our site, Untitled. As you can see here, there's only one bar that is always present no matter what happens. You do have two, you have the address bar at the top and this bar at the bottom, which is navigation, tabs, sharing. And the good thing is, I think, is that they kind of minimize, and the top bar also goes down as you start browsing. You want to share websites. Again, done quite differently. Edge browser uses a hamburger menu just there. And from here you can see share, add to favorites, add to reading list, find on page, pin to start, and settings. Slightly different here on iOS. Safari, you have this bar down here. And most things are reached by tapping that icon. That is actually your share button where you can message it, mail it, send it to various apps and stuff, or add it to bookmarks, reading list, home screen, etc. Actually, we'll take a look at adding websites to home screen. That then becomes an app icon on your start screen, so we will add. There it is. Here you have pretty much the same options. If you press share, it will then show you the various apps with which you can share it. Or as I said, add to home screen. Or as they say here, pin this page to start. And will be identified with the Edge logo. Both web browsers use a reading mode where it will cut out the adverts, and it is done here on iOS. In the address bar you have got 4 lines. Here on Windows 10 Mobile it is that book icon in the address bar. There we have it. You can zoom in, and in order to go back you can either tap the book icon or just scroll back from the edge of the page. Both allow you to find certain words on the page. Again, if you go to your share icon, and then we have find on page, put in a word. Okay, and using these arrows you can go between every time that particular word is found. Do the same here on Edge. Find on page. And you actually have to press enter, and then you can scroll, highlighting each word. You can see. And then the back button will close that. Here on Safari, just press the done button. You can save bookmarks and favorites. There's a little book icon on the bottom bar. You can go to your favorites history. You have your reading here list. On the Edge browser, if you wish to see your bookmarks, favorites and reading lists, etc., you have this small bar at the bottom, accessed by the hamburger menu, the 3 dots in the bottom right corner. You have your list of favorites. It then moves to the top. What's on your reading list, your history, and any downloads you may have. If you wish to view websites in desktop mode or in a mobile format, you can switch between the two. We have a mobile website on both. In order to go to desktop, here on iOS you go to the share icon, and along the bottom you do have the option to request desktop site. Here on Windows 10 Mobile you again have to go into your hamburger menu, go all the way into settings and change to desktop there. Go back and reload the page. And from then on every website you go to will go to the desktop version unless you change back. In fact, we'll take a closer look at settings. Here you have advanced settings. Now, in order to see your settings on iOS Safari, you have to go into the settings menu, then select Safari. This will give you similar options. One big thing is the search engine. Default search engine, that is when you type a search in the address bar. It's currently set to Bing. iOS appears to give you a good selection. In fact, the first time you go into this on the Edge browser, it may appear that Bing is the only option you're given. Whereas change search engine, as you can see, we've got Bing, Google, Wikipedia and YouTube. Now, however, if I go to, let's say, Flickr, okay, the next time you go into your settings, advanced settings, and change search engine, you will see Flickr has been added to the list. Not so here on iOS. In fact, if we go, it does look to me that they're the only four you're offered. If we go to, I don't know, Ask, I believe is the search engine. We'll go back into our setting. In fact, we'll use it. Okay, we'll now go into our settings and see, as you can, and see if ask.com has been added to the options. Safari search engine, no, you've still got Google, Yahoo, Bing and DuckDuckGo. So maybe a bit more choice here on Windows 10 Mobile, I believe. Again, you have your usual not track requests, blocking cookies and other such advanced settings. Here, a quick website search. Blocking pop-ups and where to open new links. There's also some advanced settings, website data. In fact, one nice feature on Safari, if you have 3D touch enabled devices and you press down on an app, it does give you a chance to view a little preview. I think I pressed too hard on that one. There you go, you see. You can have a look at the website without actually going to it. But I believe this would only be available in iPhones running iPhone 6s and later, due to it being a 3D touch feature. Okay, well that has been my comparison of Safari on iOS and Edge on Windows 10 Mobile. If you have any comments or questions, you're certainly welcome to leave them in the comments section and I'll do my best to get back to you. You may also be interested in the video comparison I did between Edge and Google Chrome. I'll leave a link to that somewhere in the description. And also make sure you subscribe to catch all our upcoming videos. This has been Chris for One Tech Stop. Thanks very much for watching. There's also some advanced settings, website data, In fact, one nice feature on Safari, if you have 3D touch enabled devices and you press down on an app, it does give you a chance to view a little preview. I think I pressed too hard on that one. There you go, you see. You can have a look at the website without actually going to it. But I believe this would only be available in iPhone 6s and later, due to it being a 3D touch feature. That has been my comparison of Safari on iOS and Edge on Windows 10 Mobile. If you have any comments or questions, you're certainly welcome to leave them in the comments section, and I'll do my best to get back to you. You may also be interested in the video comparison I did between Edge and Google Chrome. I'll leave a link to that somewhere. And also make sure you subscribe to catch all our upcoming videos. This has been Chris for One Tech Stop. Thanks very much for watching.